Hello everyone, welcome to our talk. I am Bindu. With my background in engineering and UX, I realized that I like to create the space for building impactful products. As a lead service designer at Mendix, I do this by facilitating workshops, mapping journeys to create shared understanding, and structuring our collaborative practices. My focus for the past couple of years has been to connect people across design, research, engineering, and writing.
Yeah, hi, I'm Iara. I'm a UX writer at Mendix. I joined last year, and since then I have been working on establishing the first UX writing processes and flows. Before joining Mendix, I have worked as a language specialist, translating for the web, so basically localizing content. I also worked as a product owner. But then 5 years ago, I joined the world of UX writing. This change of perspectives really has helped me look at collaboration from a very unique angle. But what is Mendix?
Mendix is an all-in-one low-code platform. Mendix enables you to build applications faster. The vision of Mendix is to bring business, technology, so the developers and the end users together in an application development process. Iara and I are in the community and collaboration unit, where we strongly believe that collaboration is in the core of our DNA. So what brings us here? Are you someone who's trying to bring empathy in your teams? Or are you trying to raise awareness and improve the design maturity in your organization? Or are you someone who's in a horizontal role trying to bring in a holistic approach to the product process? Well, then this talk is for you. In our roles as a UX writer and a service designer working horizontally, Iara and I bonded over our shared goals. Iara, could you maybe give some context of our challenges?
Yeah, sure. So we work daily with designers, product managers, and also 9 development teams in our business unit. While our teams actually focus mostly on bringing specific features and products to the market. While working horizontally, our focus is slightly different. So basically, we're more focusing on higher level flows and processes, and me specifically how the messaging strategy helps create a consistent user experience. But there are other challenges as well that inspired us to do this workshop. For example, we don't have yet a very systematic way to document the issues our users are facing right now. So we really wanted to assess the current state of our products and explore more ways as well to work collaboratively. So we could think more critically as a team about how to assess these issues and introduce a process that we already knew we needed. So some of these issues might sound familiar to you if you also work horizontally. But even if you don't, the second one probably rings a bell. And I think this quote really sums up as well how it is to work in the digital transformation era. It's really a challenge in itself because moving fast is part of growing fast. But sometimes we want to slow down as well. At Mendix, for example, one of our slogans is "Go Make It." But while doing this workshop, what we wanted to do is really be more critical about our processes and about this experience we're bringing to our users, and put some of the many overlooked issues back into the spotlight. And there were some key things that we did to achieve this.
So the first thing, as we were speaking, we thought of this product audit that we wanted to do, and that was a way to bring empathy and also collaboration amongst different disciplines. However, I have heard the word audit in strict situations. So the first thing we did was to move away from the word audit. So we made it collaborative, we made it into a workshop. As we believe that collaboration is in the core of our DNA, we are constantly looking for ways to make it a reality. And for such an audit to be successful, we needed different disciplines in one room. So it had to be collaborative. So now that we decided that it would be a product audit workshop, we started looking online and very quickly realized that there is a lack of recipes for complex product ecosystems such as Mendix. So with Iara's past experiences and best practices online, we decided to create our own script. And as we started doing this and sharing this idea with some of our peers to see how it lands, some said, oh yeah, it's like drinking our own champagne or dog fooding. These are very popular terms in our teams. However, we both realized that's not what we wanted to do. We are taking a unique approach. We are doing this for the first time with an intention of being able to replicate this again and again, maybe every quarter or every 2 quarters. We were paving the path for our future. And then this quote from Robert Frost, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. It really inspired Iara and myself. And now Iara will tell how we took this quote quite literally to the next level.
So yeah, thanks. So we thought, what about we pretend we're making a movie, and we're going to be the producers, and our colleagues are going to be the cast and crew. We sent everyone a save the date, inviting them to become the brave and curious Mendixites that would help improve the experience of the makers on the other side. So together, everyone would embark on a 2-hour adventure down the roads less traveled to uncover UX legacy issues and improve the other-siders' experience. So yeah, the movie theme really sounded perfect to help us put get the participants into characters. So we really adopted early on this concept of switching lenses and perspectives as the base for the workshop activities. So from there, it was just natural. We started talking about storylines, not about planning or goals. The activities became the scripts, and the workshop itself was the grand premiere. All the preparation as well that we put into planning and organizing it became our behind the scenes. And I already talked about the cast and crew. So we would like to talk a little bit more about the specific steps we took to go from planning to facilitating the workshop. Bindu, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Iara. So to have a collaborative workshop on this scale, we needed the time of our colleagues, and we needed this initiative to be planned and prioritized. So we went to our design director, Philip, who helped us think about our goals and our business outcomes. Thank you so much, Philip. And when I had the call with Leon, our business unit director, the first question he asked me is, okay, Bindu, so what's the goal here? And thanks to the preparation, I was able to say that we want to have a collective knowledge of what all of us can do to improve the Mendix experience. Good, sounds great. And what kind of outcomes can we expect? So knowing that he believes in collaboration and wants to stimulate it, I said the first and foremost is to bring cross-unit and cross-team collaboration. As Iara mentioned, we wanted to have an overview of all the challenges and also provide scoped and prioritized backlog items. And we got the approval from him to go to the next step. And here, we had a huge task in front of us. We want to do a product workshop, but which products will we select, what flows, and how would the timelines look like? So for this, we took a 3-step approach where the workshop was the first one. The workshop was used to gather the status quo, and right after that, we had a meeting with our design systems team to see which of the issues that were found can be fixed in a systematic way. The next was to prioritize together with the product manager so that the items are on the roadmaps and keep sharing with the designers and developers who would be working on this. So talking of them, Iara, could you share how we primed the crew and got them on board?
Yeah, sure. We really wanted them to come into this workshop with an open-minded point of view, you know. So we wanted them to come with a fresh pair of eyes and really just start looking at all those issues that we were documenting for the first time, thinking like a curious child. About being open-minded, it was about like active listening while they were brainstorming together, for example. But we also invited them to be experimental, and that meant observing the dynamics of this workshop that was being done for the first time, so they could get inspired as well to gather ideas and drive their own similar initiatives on their own in the future. But last but not least, constructive energy. Not only during the discussions during the workshop itself, we wanted them to think about how to document them in a way that would actually help the development teams to improve the user experience. And that meant giving feedback in a way that could lead to clear action points. We needed a tool that would allow us to do that, and specifically making it fun and engaging, and that's where FigJam comes in. We had to run this workshop with 30+ participants in a remote online setting. So that was really crucial to us, to make sure that it was fun and it was engaging. FigJam checked all the boxes because it's dynamic, it's interactive. For example, the sticker features really helped us with that aspect, and also makes it very colorful, lively, but it also had all the basics for us to go full circle. We're going to talk a little bit more about that towards the end. But first, I would like to show you how the workshop was structured. So we had a main board, and then we had 7 script boards. I'm going to focus now a little bit more on the main board, and that was where we welcomed the participants, we explained the activities, and we divided the activities as well because we needed different teams. The second boards, they were linked from this one, and that's where they documented all the issues they found. So zooming in into the main board, this was the first part. The first thing they saw, it was the storyline. What was that? Well, we included the invite that when we send the save the date. And it also had the goals, the activities for the day, and the mindset that I just spoke about, how we primed them to come in. After that, the second thing they saw, it was the lenses. So it was all about switching and getting into character. So we had writing, accessibility, ideation, and looking at images and usability. And staying into character meant bringing the empathy aspect up towards the user experience, but also towards the roles of your colleagues, not these roles, but the ones that they perform on a daily basis. And that's how we also linked to emphasizing the importance of collaboration. We also presented guidelines for each one of these filming packs. That's how we named them. That would support them into performing the specific tasks. So zooming in a little bit into accessibility, for example, we pre-selected 11 guiding statements from the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. For example, alt text, is it there? What is the quality of the alt text? What about contracts, ARIA labels, and so many other things? And of course, we already knew what some of our accessibility issues were, but now we wanted to start keeping track of them. So the workshop was the starting point to define these best practices and allow us to think critically about how we are thinking about accessibility in the first place, but also to make it easier for us to already improve and build up on that, on the current state of things.
So now that we had the plot, the storyline, and the film impacts ready, it was time to zoom in and start writing the scripts. So for doing this, we approached each product manager in our business unit and asked them one question. Which flow or features are on your roadmap for the upcoming quarters where you would like some input for redesign? So this really helped us in scoping the scripts, and in each script we detailed the task and the access details for the crew. So let's see how you could access this. As Iara mentioned, we had a main board. We used Zoom and breakout rooms for the participants so they could easily navigate back from the main board to their script room. And once they would click on this, it would be in a separate FigJam board. We did this so that they are not distracted by each other's work, or that they could focus. And after doing this, let's see how each of the script rooms were organized. For documenting the issues, we called it special effects gone wrong. And here is where the crew would document it. And we gave them some guidance. Summarize the issue, maybe write about which link, where was the URL, and also use some pictures to document this. We also used the sticker variants from FigJam, where people could just click on the hat and change it for the lens, or for t-shirts. What t-shirts? Well, during this workshop, because our goal was to bring empathy, we mainly looked at its impact on users. And here we used t-shirt sizes. You might be thinking, how are t-shirts related to movies? Well, they are not, and they don't have to. We use the same t-shirt sizes for our design planning. And by using the same criteria, we wanted to understand, okay, we use this in the planning and in the evaluation, and it's important to sometimes to always be consistent. And well, if you're the kind of attendee I am when I'm watching conference talks, I was doing that earlier, I'm constantly taking screenshots and pictures. But Iara has some news to share.
Yeah, so the workshop template is available for anyone who wants to try it out. It's published in the community. So yeah, feel free to check it out and use it. And if you do, please let us know how it went. We're going to share our contact details later today. Bindu, what happened after the workshop?
Well, after the workshop, a lot of the crew reached out to us. Some of the product managers realized the importance of prioritizing some of the flows. The crew that didn't join us had some FOMO and wanted to know when is the next one. So here we have a couple of quotes, one from Yian, who's our product designer. She's working on our community. But during the workshop, she experienced the onboarding flow from a fresh pair of eyes, and it helped her to think outside of her own domain and also to connect it. And we have Berend, our product manager. He enjoyed participating in the workshop. He said, thanks, Berend. And he approached Iara for a copy-specific audit for all the products that he's managing because he understands the importance of improving the experience for our users. Well, I like movies, not as much as Iara, but I like movies. However, what I love the most is behind the scenes, the bloopers, and the things that went wrong and right. So a little bit about how we both collaborated in this process. So we started our productions in November, and we set a date for the end of January. And like I mentioned, we first wanted to get business buy-in. Once we had that, we mostly worked asynchronously. We were using Slack, we were using FigJam, dropping our ideas. And Iara did a fantastic job of preparing the FigJam boards. You would see that when you check out the template. We scoped the scripts, and a day before, we did a dry run. We clicked through everything to make sure things worked and didn't give us any sudden surprises.
Yeah. So now it's the moment that everyone has been waiting for, the Academy Awards for the Best Product Audit Learnings. So we'd like to present you our fantastic 4 learnings and takeaways. Some of them have taught us that the results you achieve are as good as it gets. But others opened up a matrix of new opportunities and conversations as well, never happened before. Our advice, start small, dream big, but don't go too fast nor too furious. If you do love movies and got the references, please say it on the chat. But now, the real winners of the Academy Awards for Best Product Audit Learnings. Learning number 1, the essential ingredients for fantastic fun. Well, we already mentioned it was the first time ever we were doing such an audit, but it was also the first time we were using FigJam as a tool for a workshop of this scale. And there was a learning curve, both for us and for the participants. But using it did make it easy for us to do the workshop in the online format that was still dynamic, that was fun and engaging. It helped us offer a connected experience, like in between the boards, and also offer both high level and detailed information they would need to perform the tasks. So yeah, what was learning number 2?
Well, don't go too fast, not too furious. Take the time to design the tasks together with the key stakeholders. You might not always agree with the tasks that are scoped, but however, bringing them with you in the journey is very important right from the beginning. There's more work needed for us to make the streamline the process for next iteration, but we're very excited by the new features that were announced for FigJam, especially the Jira integration, which is going to make our lives much more easier. Yeah. Thanks, Figma, for that.
Yeah. Learning number 3. Opening a matrix of new opportunities and conversations not considered before. So we managed to bring awareness to accessibility in a way of systematically registering it. And by uncovering and registering these issues, we started an important conversation with the design system team, but also with our unit leader to work on an accessibility business case. But there was also a bonus takeaway. We had those 11 guiding statements, but based on feedback from the person who took the accessibility role during the workshop, we already improved the initial cheat sheets for future audits as well.
And learning number 4, this is very important for the 2 of us. Sometimes, and maybe for most of us in the design community, sometimes you have to accept the result you achieve is as good as it gets. We wanted to help the participants so much sometimes that we structured it a lot, but it backfired. We lost some of the crew on the go. We adjusted on the spot, offered support by being there and listening to them. And we also gathered feedback, which we were thinking, oh, we could have done that and this. However, we reminded ourselves what we reminded the audience. This is an experiment. This is the first time we are doing something like this. And anything we experience and learn will only help us improve for the future. It's key for all of us to accept and remind ourselves and be kind to ourselves that what we are embarking on is a very unique journey.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you joined us today, so thank you very much. Although our journey is ending here, we hope that we have inspired you to take it a little further. So here are 3 things that we think you can do straight away. Start the conversation, gather your team, get their buy-in, or just get together and start talking about goals, and potential outcomes. Number 2, go facilitate it, or as we say at Mendix, go make it. Facilitation is an art in itself, and you just need to start somewhere. The more you practice, the better you're gonna get at getting into the habit of using it in your future collaborations. And last but not least, have fun. Definitely start by high-fiving on FigJam. If you haven't tried, you have to. We did it in our retros and other meetings as well. It's fun.
Thank you so much, Figma, first of all, for the opportunity. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in for this talk. This is the end of the movie. And we also want to thank Ashley for all the amazing illustrations and help with the slides. We both are based in the Netherlands, and our team is growing really fast. So please feel free to reach out, and we are happy to talk to you. Thank you so much, and enjoy the conference. Bye.